Hey, this is Jay Chandrasekhar, and you're watching Comedy Matters TV with Jeffrey Gurian.
Hey, it's Jeffrey Gurian, and I'm for Comedy Matters TV, and I'm here with Jay Chandrasekhar, who directed Easter Sunday. Congratulations!
Thank you, I really appreciate it. I mean, it's fun to get to make like a straight-up comedy with a bunch of like different faces. You know, like this is a straight-up comedy with a lot of Filipino Americans in it, and a couple Indians too.
And you know what was so fun? I was telling Joe that years ago I was a judge at an Asian comedy competition.
Yeah.
In those days, people didn't know that Asian people could be funny. And a lot of people don't associate Indian people with Asia, but it's South Asia, right?
Well, India is the second biggest country in Asia. I mean, Asia is a big place. By the way, Israel is in Asia.
I know, a lot of people don't know that either. Right?
You know, I mean, Israelis who come here are Asian Americans.
So, how did you get connected to the film? Once it was written, did they contact you early on in the project? It's always interesting to me to find out.
Jo Koy and I are both stand-ups, and he's a fan of, films I've made like Super Troopers. That, you know, I mean, if you're in the comedy sort of bubble, then you kind of have some sense of who the comedy filmmakers are. And so when they needed somebody to kind of take this guy who'd never acted before and make sure that a real movie came out of it, they called me.
By the guy who never acted before, you're referring to Jo Koy, right?
Well, he's done a ton of stand-up, and he's done I think he was in Gabriel Iglesias' television show, but they improv'd. Right. And so the challenge was to take this guy with a lot of charisma and not only rewrite the script with my friend Kate Angelo, but also make sure that a Hollywood level quality movie came out of it with this guy who we didn't yet know could act. He's a great actor, but it turns out he is. Had he not been, I wouldn't be standing here.
And how cool that you did it with Amblin, with Steven Spielberg. That's like unbelievable. Did that happen from the very beginning? Did you know, like when the script was written, how long did it take to get, connected to Amblin?
Well, I came in somewhat late. The good thing about the pandemic is that Mr. Spielberg was home watching Netflix like everybody else. And he watched Jo Koy's special, and he fell in love with Jo Koy. And so he was basically like, let's make a movie with this guy. And the window is May and June, because that's when he's going to not be touring. And so they, script was written through Amblin and all that. Spielberg blessed it, and then they called me, and said, "Can you be in Vancouver in a month?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do that." And then, I hired another writer, and together with Joe, we kind of, turned it into a full-on comedy.
Fantastic. And you all had a quarantine for 2 weeks in Vancouver?
I was walking around nude in an apartment in Vancouver for 2 straight weeks. I mean, when you're alone that long, you start to get weird.
And how did you do with COVID, by the way? Did you escape having COVID?
I got it, but I'm such a physically strong person, I had asymptomatic.
You're lucky. I had COVID double pneumonia. I was in the hospital. But luckily, I'm such a physically strong person, I survived.
Nice. I'm glad to have you alive.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Jay. It's great to see you, and I wish you the best of luck with this film.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Jeffrey.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Comedy Matters TV. To check out some of our other videos, click on the boxes on either side of me. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Not just for me, but for my parents.